Hi there, Kai. How are you today? We can't hear you. And I don't believe chat could hear me either, so I'm just going to quickly repeat what I said. Hello and welcome to the second installment of the ILA Student Council election event. This segment is for the vice presidential candidates. If you're watching the video on demand recording of this, I would recommend watching the presidential candidate video first. I give some important information regarding the event and the candidates. And the chronological order of the videos is President, VP, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer. So Kai, can you hear me? Can we hear you? We can't hear you, bud.
Looks like I'm unplugging this.
There we go.
Not good. Hello.
Okay, so Kai, starting now, you have 10 minutes. 5 minutes for your speech that you've prepared, and the 5 other minutes will be for your Q&A session. Your time starts now, Kai.
Alright. Cool. Alright, so first off, before I begin, I'd like to address the sort of rumors that Kobe mentioned before, that Kobe and me collectively want to burn down everything that ILA Student Council has built so far, and I would also like to say that that is not true at all. Me and Kobe, and I'm sure the entire student body, are really enjoying everything the Student Council has done for us so far. The student council is super active now, which is amazing, and you do all these great things for everyone, especially the Instagram. And we're also loving the website that's happening. That's great. The podcast that is starting soon, that's also very exciting. And the YouTube. Those are also all very exciting things that we intend to keep and improve on. We're not trying to destroy these things that Suzu and all of you guys have built over the past year. All right, so for me and Kobe's plans, we are our platform is very career based, as Kobe said, and again, as Kobe said, a lot of students come into the ILA with huge ambitions and like these dreams of changing the world. Oh, I'm a university student now. I can do all these cool things. And then they go through their first year and they realize that there isn't really a lot that you can do in the ILA. The ILA doesn't really provide anything to like facilitate your ambition or to grow your ambition further, especially in the sense of like your career when you graduate, what are you going to do kind of thing. And we felt that this was something that needs to be changed, and we feel like this ambition is being facilitated in a sense by the student council's activeness right now, which is great, but it still doesn't connect to what you can do as a career when you grow up. I guess we're already grown up kinda, but when you graduate. And me and Kobe are capable of providing the connections and the resources outside of the ILA, like Kobe said, in Gurochi and well, other places that I'm not really going to mention right now, but we're able to facilitate and grow your ambition and give you the resources that you need, the resources and tools to blossom as a human being. And we think that this is something great that we want to give to the rest of the student body. And I also feel like a lot of people think I'm lying. You might go, whoa, dude, Kobe's just some guy wearing a hat. Like, what's he gonna do? And what am I gonna do? I'm just some guy in a hoodie. But I personally can vouch for Kobe. I've known him for a very long time, and he has done a lot for me. especially in terms of connections, like career-based connections and academic connections. And we felt that this is not something that we're going to hoard between the two of us or like within our small bubble of friends. And we want to share this with the entirety of the ILA because there are a lot of very talented people coming here. And it's sort of sad to see all their hopes and dreams kind of fade out over their 4 years in the ILA. Okay, so yes. All right,
Perfect.
great.
Kobe, thank you for your speech. We're going to move on now to the Q&A session.
Okay.
So the first question comes from Jennifer. Do you have any policies or improvements you'd like to make yourself since you and Kobe are separate candidates?
Hmm, I see. Good question. Thank you, Jennifer. Well, me personally, I wouldn't say I don't have policies. It's more that me and Kobe have worked on these policies together. They're not Kobe's policies or my policies. They're just kind of our policies. Like we're working together in this. We're not I mean, I guess technically me and Kobe are separate candidates, but we like to see it more of like a pair because I feel that I have been with Kobe a very long time and we work very, very well together. So not to like, sound proud or anything, but Kobe without me is not gonna work as well or as effectively as if me and Kobe are working as a team.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your question. So the next question comes from Fiona, and she asks, if Kobe is not elected as president, do you intend to pursue these policies?
Yes, of course. If on the off chance that Kobe is not elected president and I'm somehow elected vice, I will do pretty much everything I can to try and push these policies and make sure that they happen because not because oh I need to avenge Kobe or anything, but because these policies are genuinely really good and they're great ways for students to grow as people and be able to utilize their time in the ILA for their future.
Perfect. So the next question comes from Nikki, and they ask, in the event that you are elected but Kobe isn't, what projects do you plan to work on?
Um, I think I just
Pretty
answered that.
much the same question.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you got that
yeah.
answer across.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question comes from Shuhan. And she asks, what do you think that needs to be changed in the ILA Student Council? And do you have some constructive suggestions for it?
Or the student council itself, or policies in general.
Just for the Student Council.
Ah, let's see. Well, I think that the student council is on the right track. It's sort of, if you were to think of a graph, I would say that up until Suzu and everyone took over, it was just kind of flatlining, and now it's sort of rocketing in growth and activity. And I just want to make sure that this growth continues smoothly and doesn't sort of hit any bumps or flatten out again. So I don't know. Not really. I think the student council is pretty good as it is.
Wonderful. Okay, the next question comes from Kenjiro, and they ask, what qualities of yourself do you see as good or bad?
Ah, both good and bad, or I could just pick one.
I would say both good and bad.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Well, something good is I work very well with Kobe, and I think that I will be able to um not to say this in a bad way, but I'll be able to sort of control him or like keep him in check because I don't want him to burn down the student council and he doesn't want to. But if he forces these policies too much, then I feel like we could run into some conflict within the council. And I believe that I have skills that would be able to mediate and sort of prevent conflicts like that from happening in the first place. Bad qualities. I'm pretty short. I don't like being short. I wish I was taller. So that's what I think.
Okay, we have very little time left. I can squeeze in two more questions. The next one comes from
All right.
Suzu, and they ask, as someone who is not yet a member of the ILA Student Council, which is totally fine, can you share with us other ways you have contributed to the ILA community in the past?
That is a good
Keep in mind
question.
there's limited time here.
Oh, right. Thank you, Suzu. Well, what have I contributed? That's a great question. I think I've contributed a great deal in just simply participating in the events so far. I haven't been able to participate in the open meetings or anything. I wanted to, but I have work, which is a shame. But in the past, I would attend the sort of parties and the other meetings that they had, and I feel like in its own sense, just participating and sort of giving feedback, either within the meeting or even just with friends that are part of the student council, I feel like that counts as contributing to the community.
Okay, final question, real quick. It's from Hanaho, and they ask, can you specify what kind of career-based connections you're going to make that would help us for our future?
Ah, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to specify that right now, but I can say that the plans are very, very exciting and they are mostly external. So outside of ILA, some of them are even outside of Doshisha. I don't know if I can say any more than that, but just be excited.
Perfect. Thank you for your time, Kai, and best of luck in the elections.
Thank you.
All
Woohoo.
right, have a good one.
All right, you too.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next vice presidential candidate, which is Shuhan, and I will give them a quick call online here. And just keeping in mind that if we do run out of time, we won't answer all the questions, but the candidate can answer the question privately if we don't get to it. Also, if you have any questions that pop into your mind as they're doing their speech, go ahead and write that up. And you can even send it while they're doing their speech, so I will go in chronological order of the questions. Okay, let's call Shuhan. Hi there, Shuhan. How are you today?
Yeah, hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna get you on your face on the stream here. Here we go.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so Shuhan, you have 10 minutes starting now. 5 minutes for your speech and 5 minutes for Q&A. Your time starts now.
Okay. So hi everyone, good evening. Before I begin my speech, I would like to thank you all for coming and participating in the pre-election event, and especially thanks to the election committee for organizing this fantastic event for us. So as you may see in the post I posted on Instagram, I joined the LA Student Council right after I entered the university, and at the time I joined, LASC wasn't quite active. Like the social media was died, and there was like basically no projects running. Well, to change the situation, I remember I put a lot of time and effort into it. We began with social media, and later on, we also get a chance to organize the first online graduation. During that period of time, my main job was to take care of the official email, like sending and replying messages, which means I had to check my email all the time, discuss with the student council about it, and reply as soon as possible. So it's like a full-time job. Well, for this semester, I lost my email job, so I began to work in the content creation group for Instagram and also the upcoming YouTube channel. So with everyone's hardworking, and also the leadering under the current presidential division, with the support from non-SA members, we're able to maintain this activeness. And I'm so happy that we can get many positive feedbacks from the last open meeting. So thank you, everyone. Therefore, when I heard about the election, I was kind of worried about how the presidential change would influence LASC, since the current presidential division is doing such a good job and the leaders can be extremely important to a group. So therefore, with the encouragement from my running partner Emerson, I decided to run for vice president. I'm confident about this position, not only because I have almost 1 year of experience in the student council, that I know how it functions, but also because I see the potential inside the group to contribute more to life in LA. So if I'm elected, as also kind of mentioned by Emerson, we will first ensure the ISC's current activity, make sure that social media and current projects are running. We'll definitely keep and open we'll definitely keep the open meetings and new student activities as well, so we can have fresh ideas and suggestions from the student body In addition, besides the student ambassador idea, which kind of includes a career project, and also the Come to Japan project for like upcoming students, we are also thinking for organizing events like online photographic contests and events that are working on inclusiveness. We're definitely supporting the diversity workshop. And since we got 2 emails asking if we're having a Halloween party this year, I'm so sorry that we couldn't because of Corona. But if we can have class in person next year in a safer environment, we'll definitely organize parties for big festivals and the end of the year. Well, in addition, we also want to make sure that we listen to people's ideas and promote stuff they wanted. So besides, we are going to conduct some surveys. As mentioned by Emerson, we'll also promote chances for students outside of the ISA to participate in specific ISA projects or events. So just like we now have ISA members and non-ISA members to participate in the election committee, which works excellent. So now I'm ready for the position. And if you like those ideas, please vote for Shuhan Ye for Vice President. Your voice matters, and thank you all so much for listening to my speech.
Thank you, Shuhan, for your speech. We're going to move on now to the Q&A session. We got a few questions in the chat. The first question comes from Suzu, and she asks, what makes you and your unofficial running buddy, Emerson, a good team?
So as I kind of mentioned, I joined the SC after I joined the university, entered the university, and Emerson is the same. We were working together as a team for a long time. We were both in the content creation team, and we were also work together for the graduation. Me and Emerson actually had like 4 sim classes last semester and about 2 to 3 sim classes this semester, so we are always close. And in fact, when we were preparing for the pre-election events, we also gave each other suggestions and ideas. So I really think we work perfectly together. So thank you for the question, Suzu.
Wonderful. So the next question comes from Kenjiro, and they ask, what reservations might you have if Kobe is elected as president with you as a vice?
Yes, so first of all, I maybe have to have a long meeting with Kobe. We have to share our ideas, and we are going to, well, we can't just promote our own ideas, so we have to kind of share it, and we have to communicate which one should we do first. But I'll suggest let's work on the foreign, like, come to Japan project first, if Kobe will support that, since that's like we don't have too much time for that. Like students will coming for next semester, so if that's possible, so we'll keep communicating us if Emerson got a position. So that's my answer. Thank you, Kenzilo.
Perfect. Okay, the next question comes from Matas, and he asks, why did you decide to run for a vice president position as a first-year student?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for the question, Matthias. And I think running an election as a first year, second semester actually has many advantages. Well, for example, I have relatively more time to work on the student council project since I'm only like second year if I got the position. So I don't have to worry about credits, final paper, or my career yet. And I think I can also provide many ideas and thoughts since I'll put like the LASC as my main focus for the next year. In addition to that, I also guarantee my full respect for the LA culture and people's ideas. So I don't think being a first year, second semester candidate is a problem. Thank you, Matthias, for the question.
Okay, the next question comes from Jenny, and she asks, do you believe you will have any issues or problems arise from being a student who has not been physically on campus?
Well, I don't think so. Of course, if there's problems, I'll try to solve them. But because since as I mentioned, I joined the student council for a long time and I have worked for the projects. So like also if we get elected, Suzu and like the people from the presidential division will kind of train us for the rest of the time, rest of the semester, like before we before we become the true like president and vice president. So at that time, like at that period of time, we will learn more about the IOA. But I will say we already like have many projects and activities related. So I won't think that will be a good great problem for next year. Thank you so much for your question, Jenny.
Okay, the next question comes from Avto, and they ask, if you do not have to worry about final paper career, will you represent those students who have to focus on those matters?
Of course, like I know I'm not sure, but I know I'm not sure like if everyone wants, but I have heard from third and fourth years senpai students that they kind of wanted to have parties, but the parties in previous years was kind of like have a not really um pleasing quality. So if they don't have that much time to focus on those like parties and events, please let us do it. Like let the first and second years who have time and patience in it, please let us do it, and we will like benefit the LA community as a group. So thank you so much for the question.
Okay, so that's it for all the questions that are in chat, and that's just about time as well. So we'll put a wrap,
Okay.
we'll pin on it there, Shuhan. Thank you, and best of luck in the elections.
Yes, thank you so much. Please vote for Shuhan if you think the speech is good, and see you all next time.
Okay, take care. Okay, that wraps up our segment for the vice presidential candidates. We're going to move on now to the secretary candidates. Keep in mind that if you are intending to vote, I would stick around for the two final positions, because on the voting form, you're going to be voting for the presidential division and not just for a president or a specific position. So I'm going to close this live stream and restart the next one in just a minute or two. If you don't get the notification, just go ahead and refresh your Instagram page and tap on the next live stream. Thank you. I'll see you all in just a minute.